I've got a great show for you today. We're going all the way to Canada to interview these two guys who not only have produced a great movie, but have started a film festival in Toronto, Canada. You don't want to miss this interview here on Faith on Film. Hello and welcome to Faith on Film. I've got two gentlemen with me today, all the way from, as I like to say, out there. Yeah, I know they're from Canada. You'll get that. Rafael Kalamat is a producer, writer, director, and actor, telling stories and being involved in theater and film and television for over 25 years has given him the experience and contacts to take him on a path to promote and empower those who want to pursue life as media missionaries, a calling to grow the kingdom of God through media. Now, Jason, the other gentleman, has been acting and performing professionally for over 25 years. After living in the U.S. for a number of years, he returned to Canada to study music theater at Sheridan College in Oakville, Ontario, which is just outside of Toronto. He has since transitioned from theater to film and television and voiceovers. His voice has endorsed hundreds of national products, from McDonald's to Mercedes to cartoons and movie trailers. Gentlemen, welcome to Faith on Film.
Hi, how are you? Thanks for having us.
You bet. Hey, thank you for taking the time. I know it's pretty late over there already, but I'm glad you stayed up to be on the program here. Now, normally on the program here, this first segment is taken up by just telling us your story of how you got involved in filmmaking, and even more specifically in faith-based filmmaking. There's two of you, so you're going to have to share the next 5 minutes or so and tell us all about how you guys got started. Jason, how about you start it off first?
Well, I got started, as you just mentioned, doing music theater, and I love theater. And then I got into doing voiceovers and commercials, and then film and TV. But, you know, time goes on, years go on, so I wrote a vehicle for myself as an actor called Adam's Testament. And that collected dust for 20 years or so, actually, maybe about 15 years. And then when Rafael and I met, we wrote a feature-length script and made it into Adam's Testament. And then we quickly produced, directed, and performed in this feature film, Adam's Testament. So that's where we are. And then after that, we of course developed and founded KIF, the Canadian International Faith and Family Film Festival, as another vehicle for filmmakers like ourselves to have a platform and a voice for these kind of films, faith-based, you know, family films.
Now, Rafael, how did you get started?
Well, much like Jason, I've got a theater background. I studied in Montreal in theater for 5 years, and then I went to college in film and television. And I broke away a little bit, got into the sports business, but I stayed in talk radio for 4 years in golf, and then came back into the film and television industry, not only as an actor, but a producer and a writer. And so it was an exciting new journey for me. Jason and I actually met on the set of a television show out here called Flashpoint as specialist drivers. And we had so much in common that we decided to get together and start writing and producing and shooting. And one thing led to another.
So you guys didn't know each other like from kids. It wasn't like you grew up together and you got involved in filmmaking at the same time.
It's a small enough market in Toronto, so we ended up working together on a couple of different shows. And we kept running into each other, and we had the same common interest. And you know, you have to sort of make your own work happen, and that's what we decided to do, is to sort of bond together and create something where we can, you know, market ourselves. And we're both very creative artists in the fact that we could both write, we could both bring people together in a creative, like producers do. And, you know, God willing, it happened, and the doors were opening.
Through the Writers Guild of Canada, along with the Alliance of Canadian Radio and Television Artists, and then we became members of the Canadian Media Producers Association, very similar to the PGA in the U.S. We started getting all our hats on and produced our first movie. In the meantime, we helped actors develop their reels, and we did a roundtable show called In the Room, where we shot in L.A. and in Toronto.
Wow. So now you mentioned, of course, the film festival that you guys have launched, and I think you're going to be in your third year this year. Which, by the way, is literally just a few days from today, from when the show is airing today. We'll talk about that in the next segment. But you also mentioned a movie that you guys did together. I've seen the movie, and I got to tell you, it was a sort of a scary movie. Not typical, you know, Christian movie where just everything seems to be very nice and calm and peaceful. And this was a kind of a scary movie. Why did you guys decide to do that type of a movie as a Christian movie?
Well, like I was mentioning, I wrote as a short years earlier. It was predominantly a father and son drama about losing their faith and turning against God because they're in so much pain, and what that would look like in a film, in a narrative. And then Rafael came into the picture and had these great ideas about angels and demons among us. And then we collaborated together and started writing all this stuff. So it was very, very interesting and avant-garde, as you mentioned. Right. So to talk about spiritual warfare was very exciting.
Yeah,
a faith-based supernatural drama. We just felt that kids didn't want to see those fluffy kind of faith-based movies. They really wanted to be able to relate to something. So we deal with real issues, drugs, alcohol, going out to nightclubs, peer pressure, the loss of a loved one. And it's very, very difficult. So we said there's nothing really out there like that. And how do we make it current and cool for not only teens, but young adults? And so we came together and wrote this script off of Jason's short and came up with a 125-page script. And we brought it down a little bit, and we also teamed up with Dr. Reverend Byron Spradlin from Artists in Christian Testimony, who helped us out. And we had a Bible study put together for the film. So it was very exciting that we're able to take this to youth groups, to camps, to schools, and share this information.
So if people want to see this movie, where can they currently see it?
Well, our distributor is Bridgestone, and right now it's available on platforms like Amazon and PureFlix. We're doing theatrical screenings at special events. And so we're traveling around. We have a Bible study and a leader's guide that goes with the movie itself. So we're really thrilled to share it with so many people. And it's been out there now for 2 years. Yeah, 2 years already.
Fantastic. Well, now, if they want to do a church screening, how do they get it? How do they get a hold of you?
Well, you could go to kidflix.com, or you could go to our email, right? So realdealguys@gmail.com.
Right.
Or kif.festival@gmail.com.
Okay, now you're giving too many. I'll have it down in the lower third so people can get it. But listen, we're going to take a quick break right now, and when we come back, we're going to talk about the film festival that you guys do in Toronto, and kind of about we'll also talk a little bit about how Christian movies are infiltrating, if you will, Canada. I know that there's a pretty good growth here in the United States of Christian movies now, and I want to know if it's working the same way in Canada, all right?
All right, okay, great.
All right, folks, don't go away. We'll be right back.
Have you ever considered being an actor or director of a major feature film? Sounds crazy, right? But what if God is calling you to do just that? To use your gift in a non-traditional way, like redemptive filmmaking. Let this be your pulpit. So what are you waiting for? Call now. This could be the spark that ignites your ministry.
Christian filmmaking. Our operators are standing by right now. 469-655-3222. Remember to visit our website at www.transformfilm.com.
And you learn filmmaking on 2 backlots, a first-century backlot and a small-town backlot under the watchful eyes of Christian professional filmmakers and university film school professors like Dr. Mark Kuchin. So what are you waiting for?
469-655-3222. Transformation Film Institute, a place where passion meets purpose.
This summer, come to Orlando and bring your family to the Holy Land experience, where the true heroes live. See with your own eyes the stories of the Bible come to life as you have never seen them before. Through breathtaking live stage musical productions, you and your family will encounter the true heroes of our history. Make memorable moments this summer at Orlando's premier family vacation destination. The Holy Land Experience, where the true heroes live.
Welcome back to Faith on Film. I'm here with my buddies, Rafael and Jason from out there. I shouldn't use the same joke. You know, my daughter gets mad when I say the same joke all the time. But anyway, out there from Canada. How you guys doing, man?
We're doing great. Thanks for having us again.
You bet. Now, so you guys got together, did a movie, but you also decided to do a film festival. Why was that?
Well, I think it came out of a need that we could create a film, and there weren't many places where we could showcase it. And we went to a lot of conferences and film festivals, not only faith-based, but secular, and we found all these independent filmmakers who have nice, wholesome films and didn't have a place to showcase it or had no way of getting a distributor. And so we found that it was really hard to show our film, especially in Canada. So we decided to put together a film festival, and it just took off. After going to a couple of Christian film festivals in the U.S. and the AFM, we found that people were just clamoring onto us and wanting to showcase their film. We wanted to provide an avenue for everybody.
Is there not that many Christian festivals in Canada? Because here, there's actually quite a few now.
Well, that's why we were pleasantly surprised when we came south of the border. We were like, wow, these guys really stick together, and there's lots of platforms here for these kind of films. But no, there's not many in Canada. There's a select few, but they're isolated or they're with a music conference and things like that. But no standalone kind of Christian faith film festival.
Even though Toronto has the Toronto International Film Festival, the largest conference and film festival in the world, we just decided to do it amongst the same dates because everybody's in town. Yeah. So we take advantage of seeing all the people and the media, and hopefully our festival grows on that date, September the 15th.
Right. It's funny that you said south of the border, because when I think of south of the border, I immediately think of mariachi music and tacos.
It's not that far south.
So I was like, oh, okay. But anyway, I digress. Okay, so you guys, this film festival is actually happening literally. This program releases on, I believe, the 9th of September. Your festival is when now?
It's Sunday, September the 15th.
So it's literally this coming Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, so in essence, this is probably a little late for people to say, to make plans. Although they still have they still have 6 days possibly to make plans to be there. But you're doing this every year, aren't you?
Pardon me?
You're doing the festival every year. It's a yearly festival.
Oh yes, every year.
So they potentially could start making plans for next year. Especially on submitting films. So if there's filmmakers out there right now, obviously it's too late to submit for this one, but they can start thinking of next year. When do you open up submissions for films?
We open submissions the day after. So September 16th this year, we're going to open up right away. We want to give as much opportunity to people to submit. We noticed that the earlier we open, the more options we have.
Sure.
And we've got 175 submissions this year from 22 countries.
Wow.
In 7 categories, and we're really excited. Feature films, short films, family films, documentaries, and we have an amazing awards show. We have an industry panel.
Yeah, music videos. It's great.
And we decided to up our game this year, go to Hotel X Toronto, which is a 5-star premium resort venue with beautiful surround sound theater, 2 theaters. This year. So we're really happy to have sponsors like Parables and Uplift who really help us along the way. I believe they gave us $20,000 over the last 2 years in sponsorship for showcasing these films. So, American companies like that really deserve kudos.
Yeah, top prize, the best film, the best family film gets lots of airtime on Uplift TV and Parables, so it's exciting.
Well, that's great. We all got to work together. In fact, that's what this show is all about too. Is trying to help filmmakers to get to get them exposed to the market, to the folks out there that would love to watch Christian movies. They don't get too many opportunities, but hopefully through this program they will. So now, if somebody wants to submit films, how do they do that?
That's through Film Freeway. That's the platform and the industry standard. It used to be Without a Box and with Film Freeway, but now it's just going to be Film Freeway. So we're pretty easy to find, CIFF.
And if they want to go to this year's film festival, they just go to the same website? CIFF?
Yeah, it would be kifflix.com, or they could email us kiff.festival@gmail.com. And everybody's welcome. You know, all these films are so fantastic. We've got certain films that have initiatives, like Unplanned, that we're screening this year, but we have Miracle in East Texas, which is a Western drama comedy with Kevin and Sam Sorbo. We've got movies like The Favorite, which is an MMA Christian film right out of Orlando, Florida, a beautiful true story. And stories like this need to be seen, documentaries. Tortured for Christ, Why Voice of the Martyrs, will be screening that this year as well. A wonderful story about Richard Wurmbrand and his journey in 1953. So a wide spectrum of movies.
Now, do you find that most of the movies that are at the festival or that are submitted right now are coming from south of the border? Are coming from the U.S. Or are you getting a lot of films also from Canada?
We'd say probably about, I would say 75% from the U.S., right, and about maybe 35% from Canada.
Yeah, well we'd like to put our international films. We have a small amount, maybe about 15% of our films are currently international. Like I mentioned earlier, 22 countries participated this year. A lot of those countries are singles, and they might be shorts from students and other people. But we want to give independent filmmakers an opportunity to show their story, to be able to screen that. A lot of these movies, Isaac, never see the light of day.
It's nice to be a platform and a voice for them.
Again, that's the whole purpose of this program, is to give filmmakers a voice. Because, you know, the big networks only take the superstars from the big films, you know, to interview them, to expose them. And I've always said I would interview a makeup artist if she had a great story about how she got involved in faith-based filmmaking, because that's what we're all about here at Faith on Film. So, well,
gentlemen, the testimonies, the stories.
How's that?
We love the testimonies and the stories. That's what it's all about.
That's fantastic. Well, listen, time has run out. These shows just go by so fast.
Okay.
Do you believe that? Where did the time fly? So I thank you for taking the time again to be with us, and I hope your film festival just continues to grow and grow and grow to the point where it actually kind of makes the other one that's held in Toronto the smaller one of the two. But well, thank you again, folks. Don't go away. We're going to be right back with another segment of Holly on Hollywood. So don't go away. We'll be right back. Bye, guys.
Only one university in the nation was chosen to demonstrate at the World Equestrian Games, and it's the only Christian university in the South offering an equine management major. Only one university produced the video leading into coverage for the Games, and it's the only university with students hired as part of a broadcast crew for 9 Olympic Games. One university, equipping students for a lifetime of leadership and service. Asbury University. Start here, impact the world.
Cell reproduction, more than duplication. It's careful selection and organization, ensuring the perfect balance for development and growth. Powerful, so is our programming. Parables, the leader in empowering entertainment. Parables. Be empowered. Start your free trial today.
Welcome back to Faith on Film and another edition of Holly on Hollywood. Hello, Holly.
Hi, Isaac. Always good to be with you. I'm here in sunny Southern California in front of one of my favorite old movie theaters that's been around since the beginning of Orange County. It's really been a great place to come see movies at. Ready to talk about movies today.
Great. You know, every time I say hello, Holly, I feel like breaking out into song. Hello, Holly. Oh, hello, Holly. Okay. My director's going, eh.
I like that. I like that.
So tell me, what is going on in Hollywood in the month of October or November? What's coming up?
Well, I want everyone to pay attention to 9/11 because that's, of course, the day that we still remember and we still honor. And there's actually a movie that's coming out. It's a Fathom event. It's going to come out on 9/11, honoring the people who were on the plane that were remember when the space was frozen? They said no one can fly. All the planes have to go down. No one can fly. Well, this plane flew to Newfoundland, Canada, and the movie's called You Are Here, a come from away story. And apparently that's their saying is you come from away. So this is a story about the 6,500 passengers who landed while the terrorist attack was going on and how these people in this small little town welcomed them in. It was a documentary. It's got some great footage and a reminder of 9/11. It's just another perspective, but it's a happy one because it tells how people came about to help others in a time of need. It's a really good story. Also then we've got, Rambo. Okay, Rambo's coming back. Sylvester Stallone. Rambo's coming back. It's on the 20th. Sylvester Stallone is revising and probably closing out his third and final act. It's called Rambo Last Blood, not the First Blood. And he goes to Mexico to rescue a friend. Now, yes, is there going to be violence? Yes. Is there going to be probably some language? So I'm not saying this is a Christian film. The reason I'm bringing it up is look at Sylvester Stallone in his 70s doing action hero movies. I mean, we watched him for, decades doing the other movies. I just think it's kind of sweet that he's still getting in there and still going to make the last of the last things he did 25, 30, 35 years ago. So It's remarkable. It's remarkable.
I'm 61 years old, so that's at least 10 to 12 or so years younger than him. And I recently took a fall, a pretty bad fall. And I'm thinking, I think it's because I'm getting old. You're saying he's still going to be out there in his 70s doing whatever it is that he was doing when he was in his 30s?
He is, and he said he's very excited about it. He trained for it. The basic story is how his granddaughter, who he's the one taking care of her, she's kidnapped, and it's this whole sex trafficking ring in Mexico. They take her down to Mexico, so he has to go uncover the sex trafficking ring and get her back. And he's teaming up with a journalist who's, also has been kidnapped before. And so it's an interesting plot. I must give it that, and it's interesting, especially with today's sex trafficking message and theme. But I can't say it's a Christian movie. I can just say it's the last of Sylvester Stallone action movie. It's one of those, and we honor him for that. Now, there is a family.
You got 1 minute left. Can you give me a good family movie or something that everybody can go watch?
Well, interestingly enough, there is The Abominable, which is an animated. Okay, that's on the that's come out, and that's for audiences. It's about the Yeti, but it's got some famous people in it, some voices in it, and it's just a family friendly movie. There's also an animated one coming out, The Addams Family, in October, and that's supposed to be family friendly as well. So there are some good ones. And Renee Zellweger, she's going to be in a movie about Judy Garland, and to watch for that the end of September. So I guess that's going to be parent friendly anyway, adult friendly. So that's kind of what's going on. It's not enough time. We've got more to talk about.
I know. I agree. The time flies in these segments. But I want to thank you for taking even if it's these few minutes to come and let us know what's out there that we as Christians should at least know what's there, and we can of course make our own choice as to whether we should go see these movies or not. How can people again watch your reviews or hear your reviews of some of these Hollywood movies?
Well, weekly I post on Holly on Hollywood on Facebook, and you're welcome to join me on my Facebook page, Holly on Hollywood, and I post movies there as well as thelaundrymoms.com. And my reviews can even be seen on Uplift TV, as a matter of fact, because Parables and Uplift do reviews as well. So thank you.
Well, great. Now, I hope you weren't actually driving right now. You are parked, because I see you're in your car.
I'm in my car in the parking lot. So I figured this would be a good spot to do it in front of the old Edwards Theater. So thanks for having me on, as always.
You bet. Folks, don't go away. We'll be right back.
Sunflowers. To pollinate and reproduce, they turn and face the sun. Nature's way of reminding us that for ultimate growth, we must seek the light. Parables, the leader in empowering entertainment. Parables. Be empowered. Start your free trial today.
Got a postcard from the grandkids. They went to the Ark.
Yeah. What does it say?
Well, Annie says they had a blast and that it's really, really big.
Everything looks big to a 6-year-old.
Well, Hudson says it's even bigger than the castle.
Can't be that big. Can it? Go ahead. Think bigger.
Well, we've come to the end of another show. I want to thank you for tuning in today. I want to remind you to write me a letter, write me an email at faithonfilmtv@gmail.com. That's faithonfilmtv@gmail.com. Let me know that you're there and that you're watching. Also, you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at faithonfilmtv. That's at faithonfilmtv. Until next week, remember, if you want to keep a good, healthy soul, you got to feed it good, healthy entertainment. Take care. Hello.